Good afternoon, Heber Heights. We're out here in my backyard today. We got a beautiful spring day today, and we're out enjoying it. I wanted to get out and reach out to the public a little bit, talk about a few things, give you an opportunity to ask us some questions. First of all, I'll tell you with some recent events we've had around Heber Heights. The farmers market opened yesterday for their fourth year. It was a great event. I got to ring the bell and open up the market. We had a great crowd. Vendors were awesome. And a special thanks to Jeff Huber for putting that all together for us. I think that's a great thing for our community. Gets people out and about and enjoying their days. The Rose Music Center just had its official grand opening today. We went out and checked that out. Everything looks great. Had a big crowd out today and a lot of people walking around checking things out. They had their first concert last night with Need to Breathe, and it looked like they had a pretty good crowd. I saw a photo posted this morning by one of our local photographers out here. Adam Lacey takes a lot of pictures for Wayne High School and different sporting events and whatnot. He got out to the Rose last night to take some pictures, had some great pictures out there. Thank you very much, Adam. Definitely appreciate that. What else do we got going on here? Oh, we went to the police and fire volleyball game last Thursday. Wow, what a great event that was. I'll tell you what, I really thought the police had a shot to win that again this year, but fire came through once again. So congratulations to all the members of the fire department and everybody that was out on the court. Heck, everybody that was on the court, police and fire combined. It was a great event. It's for a good cause. We raised some money. I saw some scholarships given out. It was a very nice event. Certainly enjoyed that. Coming up, we've got, of course, the primary is coming on May 5th. So I encourage you all to get out on Tuesday. Polls are open at 6:30 in the morning and they close at 7:30. Get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. We've got Relay for Life coming up on May 16th. Now, this is an event that my wife and I have attended and my family for years and years. And this is a really great event. It's a good cause. There's always a good time there. Lots of events, things to do. By all means, get out and check that out. It's at the high school. And again, that's on May 16th. They're running that from 11 to 11 this year. We've got on Memorial Day up at Cheer Cemetery on Fishburg Road. The VFW is going to be out there. Jack Brandcamp's going to be out for a flag ceremony. He'll have his guys out there for a nice presentation on the flag. And Pat Stevens and the Historical Society are working on a project to fix up Cheer Cemetery. We appreciate that, Pat. I'll tell you, if there's anybody that puts in a lot of hard work around Heber Heights, it's Pat Stevens. Thank you very much, Pat. We've got, up and coming. We got a new business coming into Heber Heights. We stopped by a couple weeks ago. We spoke with the owner down there. It's going to be a cigar shop down where there was a beauty shop on Troy, right? It used to be a Norma Jean's beauty shop on Troy, and now it's going to be a cigar shop. We stopped in, we checked it out. I'll tell you what, he's making that place look really nice. If that's something you enjoy, you definitely want to get down and check that out. They'll be opening up this month. And I'll tell you what, this is a little hidden treasure. We spend a lot of time up at the Heights Cafe, but we really have just recently found another home for us here in Heber Heights that we really enjoy. I want to shout out to Janet up at Old Glory Cafe. I'll tell you what, they have some good food, nice atmosphere. That's definitely a place you want to take your family local and have a nice meal. Check that out. Well, we're waiting to see if we get any questions here. See what we got. Not seeing anything rolling just yet. I'd like to keep rambling, but I'm afraid I might just bore the heck out of you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about a few things in general right now while we're waiting on some comments to come rolling in and some questions. One of the things that we me personally, and I know other members that are running this year for council positions, have near and dear to our hearts is our park system. That we've had a cry for help from some members of the community that live down by the park off of Rip Rap Road. It's Miami Villa Park. It's one of our small parks. We're working with some of those folks. We're trying to get some volunteer efforts moving, get some things happening, get some equipment put in for our handicap population. There are several kids around that area that could use that equipment, and I think this is a good cause. Now, what we're hoping is that all this is going to spur additional interest around Huber Heights and other parks, and we'd like to see, again, some more handicap accessible activities, and possibly even retrofitting one of the old parks with maybe make it a fully handicapped accessible park with a lot of different features. The parks themselves need a lot of work. It's something we want to focus on in the future. We look to see what we can do to improve our parks, establish frequent events out at those parks, and try to get the community involved and out there. We've got a lot of great volunteer organizations within our community. We've got a lot of good people that are more than willing to help if you simply ask. And we think we can do a whole lot with the park system. That's something we're going to be focused on in the future. We certainly want your input on that. Speaking of input, that's something else. I regularly post things out on my Otto for Council page, as well as my personal Facebook page. But I would like to see more people coming out and offering up suggestions or showing interest in some things maybe we haven't talked about. There's always going to be things we're going to miss. And we'd like to see those brought to our attention so we can go ahead and take a peek and see what kind of conversation we can get going with those things. That's one of the biggest issues we see currently, is that there's just not enough conversation going on. If we can build this conversation, we can build a community, we can get people together, we can make a lot of things happen, but we're going to have to get active, folks, and that's one thing we plan to do. I want to speak to the Music Center as well. This is a pretty big topic currently, I understand. The Music Center, some hate it. Hate's a strong word. Some dislike it. Some like it. Some are on the edge. But I'll tell you what, the Music Center's here, everybody, and it's something we're going to have to promote, we're going to have to get behind, and we're going to have to support. We've spent a good amount of money on that, and it's something we're going to have to recoup. So if you see any shows you might be interested in the future, if you just feel the urge to go up and check a few things out, please do so. I'm not pushing you to go see every show possible, but if something interests you, please check it out. We really got to get behind this. We got to support it. We got to make it as successful as we possibly can. If you're watching right now, get us some questions. You can jump out on my personal Facebook page if you like. You can jump out on my Otto for Council Facebook page if you like. You can throw some questions right into the comments section on this video if you'd like. I'm trying to do this to give you an opportunity to let your voice be heard. One of the goals we have moving forward as Team Huber is to give us a little bit more of a presence in the surrounding community and neighboring cities. A big goal of ours is to really reach out to our neighbors, find out what's working for them, what's not working for them, see where there's ways we can work together. There's a lot of experience that we can pull from our neighbors, and we certainly need to do that. Other relationships we need to work on are with the Chamber of Commerce. We have a great Chamber of Commerce here in Huber Heights. And we have Mark Bruns as the executive director, and we have Melissa McGee as the president. And they're doing some great things, but we really need to get on board, get behind them. Richard, saying the power is going to shut off. Okay. May 17th. Every Warrior Plays is going to have a retreat up at TJ Chumps. What time is that? That is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on May 17th. The goal of this retreat is to get as many people out there as possible. What we're trying to do is establish a larger volunteer base. The people we have are doing a very good job, but Sherry Combs and some of the other members are they're carrying a lot of weight, and they could certainly use a lot of help. So if you've got some time, you want to get involved, please feel free, come out to TJ Chumps, check out that retreat, get involved, help out Every Warrior Plays. It's a very good cause. It provides funding to our student athletes, and it helps to keep the participation fees low enough where families aren't struggling to get their children into extracurricular activities. These are things we certainly need for our kids. We need to be active in this, and we need to make sure that these types of organizations are very successful. Speaking of those types of things, I'll just keep on rambling here and say that we've got many, many great volunteer organizations throughout the city of Huber Heights and nonprofits. Feel free to look around, reach out. There's a lot available. If you find yourself with a little extra time on your hands, get out, join in with an organization, or simply go out and help. An example of that would be around Christmas time, the Optimist Club sets up their Christmas tree lot. Well, we're not members personally, but my family and I have gone out for several years, and we help them set up the Christmas tree lot and get things going before the holiday season. It's just one way of helping out a good volunteer organization. You got any questions coming in here? U-Haul. U-Haul was just mentioned to me. U-Haul moved into that building, and they've got a nice, fresh new sign up there. It's a start. They're working on that building. They're doing a lot of remodeling, a lot of renovating. U-Haul's a nationwide company with a great name, great brand name. We need to work with U-Haul. We need to let them know that we're here, and we're willing to work hand in hand with them to develop that property and fix that up. This is one example where the city could really step forward, offer their help, offer their assistance, and get U-Haul the tools they need to improve that property. That downtown area is a subject that a lot of people have on their minds. That's brought up to me quite a bit when I talk to people. I know there are several people in our community that are working towards redevelopment of that area into a pseudo downtown area for Huber Heights. To me, that sounds like a great idea. We can move a lot of local businesses in there, set up a very comfortable community setting, get people out and about, get them joining in, get in some discussions on where we can go with our city moving forward. I got another one just came in about the levy. Levy's coming up on Tuesday, as well as the vote for the primary for your at-large candidate. I will say that as far as this levy is concerned, I will be voting yes. This is something that I have to say personally, I see as something we may very well need moving into the future. I'm not really sure exactly how all finances look deep down. That's something I plan on looking into, as well as other members plan on looking into that as well. But as it stands, I will be voting yes on it because I'm not exactly sure where we're looking. Now, moving forward, I think we certainly will have the ability to reduce that rate once again. I think our city can operate and will in the future operate on less than 2.25% income tax. I certainly think we can provide our citizens with everything they need and a very nice, well-operated city on 2% or less. Now, as far as that goes, I will not I will not tell you one way or the other. I believe that's entirely up to you to make that decision. All I ask is that you reach out, you research, you get educated, you find out what these types of things are about, and then you go to the voting booth and you go ahead and you vote what you believe is right and proper for you and your family. All right, we're about halfway through this almost, and we're looking for some questions here. I've got one asking what I plan on doing to reduce. Hold on a second. Let me get back to this. I got one asking what I plan to do to reduce the amount of no bid contracts awarded by the city. And that is a great question. For too long, our city has really been very lax in their effort to get out, advertise, and promote projects to our business community. We have a nice business community in Huber Heights and in surrounding areas, and I'm sure there are many, many local businesses that would love to step up and bid on some of the work that our city does. That is certainly something that will be pushed. I will say will be demanded by myself and other members, other new members. As, to the best of my knowledge, we will consider that a requirement for most projects, unless the project is not able to be bid due to specific reasons. I know sometimes we run into issues with certain companies only certain companies being able to outfit police cruisers, take care of fire equipment, things of that nature. That's fully understandable. But for general construction projects in particular, there are certainly a lot of well-qualified local contractors that could certainly fit the bill probably on some of these bids. And we need to reach out to them and let them know that we want their bids. We want the best bids. We want the lowest bids. And we're going to look to stretch our dollars as far as we can. What else? I'm just going to stay on that for a minute. There are a lot of projects that pop up here and there that absolutely should be put out to bid, that don't require any specific knowledge or overly specific skill sets. There's a lot of general contractors, lawn maintenance companies, things in that realm that could certainly handle the type of work that our city needs. We've got to get much more active with our community, business and residential communities, to reach out to them and let them know what we're looking for, what we need. We got another one between asking about improving the relationship between our city government and the Chamber of Commerce. Our current city leadership will tell you that they have a great relationship with our Chamber of Commerce, but it's been my experience in the past that that's simply not the case. We have a great and very active Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the type of participation that we need from our council and being interactive with those individuals. They provide a lot to our community. They are the liaison between our city and our business community and should be used as much as possible. And on that same vein, I will say that we also have seen in the past a lack of interaction between our city staff or our city leaders and our school leaders. I've heard it mentioned many a time in different meetings when somebody asks, well, what are you going to do about this school, that school, or the other school? Those type of questions. I hear regular comments along the lines of, well, we're not the city schools. We're two separate entities. We are a separate entity from the city schools. While that is correct, I do want to say that there is no possible way that our schools or our city can be successful without the other one's success. It's going to require the schools and the city to work hand in hand. There are ways that they can help each other. if nothing more than providing guidance and input on decisions. So that's something else we need to work on. We need to look to deal, work with our schools quite a bit more. I know a lot of folks in the schools, and they're good people, and I'm sure they're more than willing and more than open to the city stepping up, working hand in hand with them, and pushing both the schools and the city forward. I've got a question on water softening. That's an interesting question because for many years, that's been a topic of conversation. Kind of goes along with the whole establishing a downtown area. In the past, the city has even gone as far as paying for surveys in which they asked people about their water softening preferences. In those surveys, vast majority of folks said that they think it would be a good idea for the city to look into water softening. And then when the city's follow-up question was one of, would you still want that water softening if it increased your water bill by a few bucks a month? Still overwhelmingly, the answer was yes. This is something that was asked for. It's been talked about. Let me tell you why I think that would be very good for our city. It's going to help our city's infrastructure to start with. Our water is not overly hard, but it's certainly hard. And as you are well aware, if you don't have soft water in your own home, it tends to, the deposits tend to clog up shower heads, water faucets, toilet tanks. Basically, any place you've got water running, you're going to get water deposits and things are going to clog up. That causes increased maintenance. It slows your water flow. You end up with leaks. It costs us more money in the long run. And the same thing applies to the infrastructure itself. You got soft water running through there, it kind of naturally cleans that out and keeps it running a little bit smoother and longer with less maintenance. That's a very good one. Another question, the library somebody brings up. I think that the library is a very awesome entity within our town. They have provided us a great service for a lot of years. And if you did not know, our public library is one of the most, if not the most active public library in Montgomery County. It's very well used, very well received. I know the library is working on a plan to update all of their library locations, and this is scheduled out based on need. Our library currently is in pretty good condition, so we aren't scheduled until 2017 to receive a new library. Now, discussions are going to be happening in 2016 on where that library is going to go and how it's going to be built and things of that nature. Where it goes is up to the library. They're going to purchase their own property, build their own building, and that's going to be up to him. Where the city comes in is in their willingness to work with the library and finding locations, negotiating a good deal, and affording them the vehicle in which to get it done in an easy manner for them. I know in the past the city has proposed locations north of 70, which the library is against because the bulk of their service comes from the southern area of Huber Heights. And I'm fully with them on that one. It's theirs, and they need to do that where they would like. I was just told I got a question from the mayor. Where's that at? He asks, during the candidate forum, a statement was made that the ticket sales at the Music Center were over $1 million. Given that we have booked more than 25 shows, talk to us about the positive as well as concerns we should have about the likelihood of making a profit or needing a supplement for operations. That is a good question. Based on the amount that we put into that facility, we're going to have to sell out a lot of shows to get our money back. $1 million is certainly not going to do it. A lot of people aren't really clear on how the money works with this, so I'll give you a simple, quick breakdown. We're going to see $225,000 come off the top for a management fee for Mimi. We're going to have to pay the talent. We're going to have to pay electric, water. We're going to have to pay for staff. We're going to have to pay for food. Just general operational costs are going to have to be covered. Once all those costs are covered and we end up with a gross profit at the end, then we also have to split that profit. The city keeps 60%, Mimi gets 40%. So $1 million is just not going to get us there. Recently, in the last few years, the Phrase Pavilion has started to turn a small profit in their pavilion, a couple $100,000, which is good for them. And I'm very, I'm glad to hear that. We're going to have to produce a lot more ticket sales than their 3 million in order to maintain our profit margin. They own their facility. They don't have any payment on their facility. Theirs was all built with donations and private sponsorships. That's something we don't have going for us. We've got a debt payment to be made. And I'll use the city's numbers and say $19.3 million worth to be exact. That's going to require a large payment. Now, I know this payment's graduated, and I believe in the first year, it's roughly $600,000. I might be slightly off there. But it increases after a few years up to, I believe it's roughly $1.6 million a year in payments. So again, based on the Phrases experience and their $3 million in ticket sales, netting them a couple $100,000 in profit without nearly the overhead they have, we're going to have to do better than that. However, once again, I want to say that we need to support it. We need to get out there. I'm not telling you go to a concert that you don't want to see, but if you find something interesting, check it out. There's a couple that I'm definitely interested in and I will be going to see, and I know a lot of other people that are going as well. I want the Music Center to be successful. The Music Center needs to be successful. We have to pay this debt back. So don't rail on the Music Center, folks. Support the Music Center as best you can. The Music Center didn't build itself. It's others. If you have a problem, it's others that you have that problem with, not the Music Center itself. So that's my take on the Music Center moving forward. Looks like we're kind of wrapping up here and getting to the end. I want to go ahead and let you know and let you speak and speak to my opponent now and say that I believe that 25 years is just too long to occupy a council seat in the city of Huber Heights. It's time for a change. It's time for some newer, active leadership to step up, reach out to our community, work hand in hand with the citizens and businesses to move us forward. I need your vote on Tuesday. I need you to get out there on Tuesday, get your friends out, get your family out, anybody you know. If they're registered to vote and they're interested in the future of our city, get them out to vote. I made a plea earlier to share my what's that called? Help me out.
You're on your own.
My Facebook. Share my image on Facebook. My what's it called? Long and short of it, vote for Otto. Get out on Tuesday, place your vote for Otto. Let's move forward. Let's get this going into November. Let's make a change for Huber Heights. Let's see some things happen here in our city. And on a final note, I will say that if there's anything you need to ask of me, I'm going to be active. I'm going to be out and about. And tomorrow morning, I'll be out at the Heights Cafe having breakfast. Please stop by. You can ask me questions, offer me comments, or just come out and chat. That'd be great. So I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and get out tomorrow and vote for Otto.
On Monday.